to another episode of Grip the Guys. Episode 3 we're on now, Chris.
Hang on I'm sure you just said grip the guys.
The Grip Bar. I think it was my teeth.
That's a whole Grip the Guys is a whole different show.
Grip the Guys.
Start.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Grip Guys. I can't believe we're on episode 3 already. The last episode did really well, so thank you to everyone that watched, commented. We are going to talk about one of the comments today. But first, I just wanted to give a little congratulations to Chris here, my co-host, who got his first podium in a grip comp last weekend at Claire Nolan's first grip comp at the Wolf Pack Gym in Bury.
Yeah, it was good. It's just ironic that it was in an open competition, to be honest with you, wasn't it? Everything just seemed to go really well. I mentioned last week that there was going to be 4 events and 2 of them would go well for me and 2 of them wouldn't have. And in actual fact, what ended up happening, 3 of them went well for me and 1 of them didn't, like I knew the dreaded V-bar always does. But it was great. And you did okay as well. But it was great to see you compete again, to be honest.
Yeah, it's good
competed for a while. Have you? I know you did King Kong, but you haven't done like an individual comp this year, have you? Really?
No, I don't think I did one last year either. Actually,
no. Nice. We had a great time as well. Just so much fun. I was laughing most of the day. Basically, I had an absolute blast. So yeah, great fun.
Just quickly shout out to Justin actually, who came second in Claire's comp. That was his first comp ever.
He just seemed to take to it really well. You could tell there was parts of it. He just kind of we were saying when he was like the gentleman of grip. He was just walking up. He was kind of just going.
Yeah, give him
giving him one of them, wouldn't we? He's a naturally strong dude. I am added in my Instagram, and he's like a strong man, and he does that type of stuff. So he's got a strength base. So if he honed his technique, he's an under 105. So he's got a lot of potential. So I'm hoping he comes to a few of the comps next year. It'd be good to get him involved. The events were cool as well. I thought they were cool events.
Do you know what? We were dubious about the first one, which was like a double like grenade grip ball kind of deadlift.
Hang on, so let me grab one. 2 of those.
Yeah, 2 of those. But it was kind of an anything goes grip, wasn't it?
Basically, yeah. So instead of doing it how we have to with a grab ball, which is like this or slightly further forward than that, but the flange will stop you, they were allowing us to do this.
Yeah.
Which again is obviously it's not as much about the grip as it would be, but it definitely was my grip that failed.
Yeah, it seemed like
it definitely did.
Yeah, I was shocked. It seemed like most people's hands went before the body, which was good to see. I think we ended up on like, was it 240, something like that?
Yeah, you got 240. I come joint 4th, I think, on that one. So I got 200, and then there was 2 guys that did 210. Yeah, I couldn't believe I got 200, to be honest. I was astounded. I was expecting to be in 170 would be really good for me, but yeah, it was really good.
And you set a new record on the high ridge?
I did, yeah. I did set a new record on the high ridge. I actually think as well, there might have been a little bit more there. Do you remember we were saying to each other, like, let's just not come in for a while?
Yeah.
Because we were going to both come in around the 20 mark. Because you know what it's like with these types of lifts. If you do them too many times, it just, even the first lift I did hurt my fingers. Because it does, it hurts your fingers, doesn't it? I come in a bit too soon, I think. So by the time I got to 25 kg, which again felt really easy, just kind of flew up. We then went for the open record, and you nearly got it, but couldn't quite get it. And mine just got welded to the floor at that point. But I think it was more a case of I just completely exhausted my fingers.
I'll take the blame for that because it was me panicking. I was like, surely we can't go in at 20 because you can see people struggling.
Yeah.
Like second guessing yourself, but we should have gone in at 20.
We should have gone in at 20. We started at 15 instead and then ended up doing like 15, 17.5. And then we ended up doing 20. So I did 2 extras. But yeah, it's one of those lifts. Let me just grab it for people that haven't seen it before. So this is the high ridge. I think this is like a first generation, isn't it?
It is the fatter one,
a bit fatter. But this is what I trained on. And basically it's just kind of fingers round the front. And I was doing it thumb round the back like this, which it's not so much the thumb because 25 kilos is not that much on a hub, really, on a mid hub or something. But it's the fingers.
It's like the joints in your fingers, isn't it?
Yeah, So even now, as I'm doing this finger here, it's still sore in that
Right
area
there.
from
Yeah.
last weekend. It's one of those things that people look at it and they go, God, how'd you grab onto that? But when you try it, it's not necessarily grabbing onto it. It's the problem. It's just actually the pain of actually then putting the pressure through your fingers that you need to get the weight moving off the ground. But it's a fun one. I love little intricate events like that. It's difficult to do too many of them because you do need to test your power when it comes to grip as well. But I like having one of them in a comp because I think then it's more about the technical side of grip rather than just the overall strength, if that makes sense.
That ties quite nicely into what we're talking about today,
It
to be
does.
honest.
It does.
As
Yeah.
well.
The comment came in from Lee-KD3BE. I'm skeptical whether that's his actual name, but we'll just say Lee. One topic that you could discuss is, do we need weight classes? Should hand size be the way forward? Someone with smaller hands will struggle on an axle, Saxon, etc., against someone with bigger hands. Maybe hand size should be the new way forward. So thanks for your comment, Lee. Much appreciated. And as we promised, if you put it in the comments, if it's a good topic, we'll talk about it. So let's talk about it. Tom, do you think weight classes are things of the past and we should go on hand size?
I do not. This was something I'd noted down for us to talk about. I think the thing I put was like, does hand size really matter? I think to answer his question, no. Weight classes are definitely the best way to separate people. We know there's all different shapes and sizes of people. And the best example is Sam Unsworth and Chris Rice-Jones. Chris is long, tall, lean, and Sam is short and packed, but they're a very similar weight, and they're a very competitive level. I don't know about the hand size, but I imagine Chris is a bigger.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
What's your opinion on this?
So I think hand size matters in grip a lot, but it's not the overriding factor.
I like it.
So you can have a blob, for example. I'm never ever going to be able to lift a blob that you can lift because a hand size is just a fact. They get bigger and bigger and bigger as they get heavier and heavier and heavier. There's just certain ones I won't be able to lift. It's just not possible for my hand size. But then going back to what we just talked about on the high ridge the other day, me and you got exactly the same. And that was a smaller implement. So technically there is 0% chance I am as strong as you. I'm not as strong as you. But because it was a smaller implement and I've got smaller hands, I was able to get more of the part of my fingers that matter on that implement than you were. Therefore, that leveled the playing field. So absolutely. It's not just one thing. There can be a number of things when it comes to hand size, in my opinion. And we've talked about him a few times in this, but you've got to look at someone like Chris Stefano because with his hand size, he's already 63 kilos. He's already at a disadvantage against people he competes against when it comes to body size. You go by hand size, he might be in a category with you. Because his hands is bigger than mine. So I'm a 93 and he's a 63. He'd be definitely in a higher hand division than I would. So straight away, you're taking someone that's naturally smaller but just got bigger hands and sticking them in with someone that's your height or tiny.
50 kilos heavier.
That's it's just never going to work, is it? I mean, I do get what Lee's saying. Could there be some certain competitions when you did that? I mean, there could be a competition where that happened, but I don't think you can mold grip around who's gifted hand-wise.
I think a lot of it comes down to the events in the competition as well. If you are picking an axle deadlift, a Saxon, and a blob run, it's hand size, 100%. You always need, like we said, a technical, or at least one technical small event that tests out your skill and precision, isn't it?
Hand size, does it matter? Yes. Is it the most important thing? Absolutely not. Technique trumps everything.
I've noted down a few little questions, which I'll pose to you. The first one is, are there any downsides to big hands?
In grip.
In grip, sorry, yes, in grip.
There is, but if you know how to still implement that power on the small implement, you would guess that something like this is your version of the low hub. Which is disgusting, by the way. Look at that thing. You would think that someone with my hand size would be better at this than you, and I've
Yeah.
never really trained this much, so I don't actually know how good I am. Maybe we could have a Grip
Oh,
Guys special next time I come there, and we can have
I like it.
a low hub off. But yeah,
Yeah.
you are quite good at this, aren't you? For you, especially for your hand size. But you would think that someone like me could get more of my fingers onto it.
Yeah.
So yes, I do think having big hands is a disadvantage with something like this. But if you're someone really experienced with good technique, you can pretty much make anything work, you know? If someone said to me, you can have a bigger hand than what you got now, I'd just extend this about that much for a start. And
Yeah.
then these a tiny bit, but this is the problem for me.
The thumb. Yeah.
Little hobbit thumb, mate. Look at it.
This is a good one for you then. Next question. Is small hands an excuse?
Yes. And I use it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if we have a 76mm rolling handle in a comp.
Yeah.
And then you are tiny, we're all doing thumbless, and then you two walk up and just pick it up like it's a pinch block.
Yeah.
You're so, for God's sake. So yeah, it is an excuse. It definitely is an excuse. But again, sometimes you can get away with saying it in certain instances, but don't use it for everything. Like I said, you can't have a 60mm pinch block and blame your hand size.
Yeah.
Pretty much anyone should be able to be
Fair
on
response, that.
60mm pinch block, you know?
Okay, the last one. Slightly controversial on this. I've picked a man who's renowned as having one of the strongest grips in the world. Does Mark Felix actually have good grip strength, or does he just have big hands and not a lot of body weight?
Controversial. Right.
Because whenever he's introduced as one of the strongest grips in the world. And obviously in the past, he's done a lot of like rolling thunder lifts. I think he held the record at one point. But is that basically just because his hands are massive and he's good at thick bar?
I would guess in a grip competition with all of the strongmen, Mark Felix would not win it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Depending on which events they were, stuff like Hercules Hold and stuff like that, he might be. I'm thinking someone like Eddie Williams would probably win it, to be perfectly honest. There's only one way to find out. We need to get Mark Felix to do a grip competition.
I like
Can you imagine now, after we've said that, he just comes down and owns everyone?
No, but that's kind of the thing that, it ties into the big hands things. He has the biggest hands of probably any strongman ever. You know, they're the same size as a piece of A4 paper, apparently. And we know he's good at thick bar, but the key to being good at thick bar is having big hands and having a lot of body weight to lift the weight off the ground. But for something like pinch or hub or, you know, even like the ridge, you know, stupid stuff like that, I think he'd struggle with it, really. Yeah.
We're talking about the top, still the strongest guys in the world. So he would do amazing. And the likelihood is, if he come down to the shed and we did axle, rolling handle, and a couple of other those types of events, he would own everyone, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
But then if we added a hub and if we added a pinch block and if we added a few other things, I don't necessarily think he would.
There's only one way to find out. Let's get on to Colin Bryce, test all the Giants live athletes at a grip comp.
I've actually heard Mark say before about the Hercules Hold that the Giants live handles that he holds the world record on really, really suit him.
Yeah.
And he's used other ones that don't suit him. Yeah. So it's just something about those handles. They must fit into the part of his hand that he can really, really wrap and feel comfortable on. Yeah. And I think they're quite thin, if I remember right. And that's another thing to talk about. Events like that, I've been traveling around, and you've seen them. I've been traveling around with the Fat Farmers, as I call them, for my YouTube channel that I'm shooting a lot of stuff for at the minute. Which, by the way, will now be launching in January, right at the start of January, 2026. New year, new channel. Anyway, yeah, I've been traveling around with the Fat Farmers, and they're 50mm handles instead of what Strongman would normally be. I would love to see in Strongman more events with thicker handles when it comes to grip. The Hercules Hold, I would love to see them be a thicker handle, to be honest with you, way thicker than what they actually are. And lighter weight, it doesn't really matter what the weight is. They make it look like it weighs an absolute ton anyway. So I just prefer to see what their grip's like on something that's a little bit harder to hold on to than just something that's really heavy.
I think they're actually holding it for too long now as well. They're going over like 90 seconds, aren't they? Which is
and that will help it. And again, even though it looks like a grand spectacle, and it does, with especially the World's Strongest Man one they always use and stuff as well, they look Brilliant. Yeah, I think a lot of events could be better in strongman that are based on grip, but and that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah, Paddy's the man to get on for that little discussion,
Paddy
isn't
is the
it?
man. We
Actually,
should
yeah,
try and get him back for a special episode. I'd be really interested to know from someone who obviously has an elite grip. Would he like it from a point of view he'd do really well at it? Probably. But does he think that would be a good thing for a sport as a spectacle? There's been a lot of talk going around the last few weeks about how to change strongman and do this and do that. So it'd be interesting to get his perspective on whether he thinks that would make things more interesting or whether
yeah.
it's just fine how it is, you know?
So thank you very much for that question, Lee. We've had a good little discussion about that, and I've tried to get a little bit of controversy in with that Mark Felix question, hopefully.
Just get in the comments, put some questions in there, put some topics in there, and we'll mention them on the next show.
Shall we do your lift of the week?
We shall. Yeah, so lift of the week this week. It's the fact that I've literally just put this on now, and have you seen what the first thing is that's on there?
I'll tell you what, whoever designed them needs a pay rise.
I know, yeah. Done a good job, whoever's done them, hasn't he? Right, so this week I'm going to feature a good mate of mine. This is Ricky Fox. So on Instagram, his name is the Moose Dog Fox. First thing, Ricky, pick one animal. Greedy. Either the moose, the dog, or the fox will be fine. The first lift I'm going to feature, this is Ricky doing a 95 kg in his left hand and a 78 plus some weight. So it takes it up to 87 kg in his right hand, and he lifts them. And I think the only reason that it goes down as quick as it does is because the weight falls off the 78. So it puts him off balance. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Nice level lifts, which I like to see. It looks well easy.
Doesn't it just? Well, you'll see in a minute what I'm going to show you in a minute. But yeah, Ricky is from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he's doesn't compete. He's more of a feet guy. He likes to kind of see what he can do and challenge himself. He's obviously an elite inch dumbbell lifter, as you can see.
Yeah.
But he did say to me when I talked to him about it last week that he does want to compete at some point, probably, and he's about a 5-hour drive away from the Arnold's. So if he was going to do it, it would probably be at the Arnold's. I didn't actually check his body weight. I forgot, but I don't think he's an open weight, but I think he'd be 120s if I had to guess.
Yeah.
In between the 105s and the 120s around that area. But he's super strong dude, super nice dude as well. Always wanting to learn, always asking questions about different things. But he's one of these people that if he hasn't tried something, he'll message and he'll say, "What would you do on this?" And I'll tell him, and then he'll beat me by 25 kilos on his first attempt. I'm just like, Jesus, he's just naturally strong. Gonna move on from that, and I'll show you another lift that he did. This was a week later, but this is the 95 haul again and the 78, and he just decides to take him for a little walk. Look, so yeah, off he goes. I mean, to do that with 95 in one and 78 in the other.
That's obscene with 95, that.
Yeah, because it's the balance as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Put you off balance.
Terrible.
He's like I said, he's a bit of a freak of nature. I wanted to feature him this week because I think out of all these guys that are doing elite feats of strength, I don't think he gets enough recognition. So yeah, so if you don't already, it's the Moose Dog Fox on Instagram. Go give Ricky a follow. Super nice guy, super strong. And the scary thing is he's getting better and better. And I feel like he's only sort of scratching the surface of what he can do. I'm hoping he will compete at some point.
Yeah.
Because I think someone that strong needs to be kind of in a competitive environment. And as we talked about last week, get some world records on the board. So yeah.
I think that's a 95 and 78 world record right there.
Yeah, but I'd actually love to see, going back to Mark Felix, perfect. Mark Felix, Paddy, and Tiny did the walk, didn't they?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Where was that at, Tom? If people haven't seen that, where was it?
It was the last Birmingham Fit Expo.
There you go.
About 2 years ago now. 2 years ago.
Yeah, so you took the dumbbells along, didn't you? And you had a challenge, and I think did Mark beat it? Mark set the new record?
Mark did set the new record, yeah.
So moving on from Ricky, another friend of mine that's in that group with a load of us. I'm in a group with some strong dudes, mate, on that group, I swear. So the guy I'm going to speak about now, who took him for a walk a couple of days later, is James Stewart Claymore.
He did.
I'd love to see him and a few of the other guys in the UK have a little bit of an event where they all try it in a straight line as well.
Yeah.
Would be good, you know. But yeah, I gotta give James a shout out because I remember the first time I saw him was that video you posted of him doing that in a car park.
Right, as if by magic, we've pulled the clip up. I thought I'd just basically explain what happened that weekend. So as it worked out, I was at an arm wrestling tournament at the same weekend that the Fit Expo was on. So I drove the dumbbells down to Paddy on the Friday night, dropped them off at his car. He drove them to the show. Mark, Tiny, and Paddy all attempted to break the record, to which Mark broke. The day after, Paddy then drove the dumbbells to the arm wrestling tournament where the man here, James Stewart, was. And he was like, I fancy a go, mate. Where are they? And I was like, they're in the back of my car. And he was like, right, get them out. So
that's a great impression, by the way.
It was Sunday this. So he'd been arm wrestling, refereeing for 2 days. Just came over, little bit of chalk, and I was
It's
like,
a fact he just goes that way.
yeah, where should I take him? And I was like, and he was like, just up there, uphill, in the dark. Look at him go.
I know, he just goes. I'm not even sure I could walk that fast with 10-kilo dumbbells in my hand.
Mad.
Look at him go.
Uneven. The best bit is his keys and like change were just clanging around in his pocket, and he said, oh, my phone was getting in my way.
I tell you what, you have got to try and get the biggest guys that are capable of lifting and walking with them in a room, not even in a room. God knows where we do it. A car park if James had anything to do with it.
Literally.
But yeah, it would have to be somewhere with a flat, straight surface. You've got a good sort of. What's the record currently? Is it 50 something? Was it meters?
Yeah.
So
I think that's obscene what he just did there.
Yeah. So I think if do you think that's actually further than what Mark did? It's got to be close, isn't it?
It's got to be, but it's uphill. That's the mad thing. It was like
unbelievable. I mean, there's a few of us that are gradually. I know you are, and I am as well. Every time I speak to James, I'm trying my best to coax him into grip, and not out of arm wrestling, but just into grip a bit more. Because he literally goes in the gym and he just sets like unofficial world records. But no, he does. He basically does what the current world record is for 2 reps and stuff like that on rolling handles. And we haven't seen him do any pinch or anything, so that would be a question mark. But his actual support and crush grip is just ridiculous. Right, so what else have we got? We've got Grip Wars is now out.
Finally.
The episode came out 2 days ago. As this is being released, this will be the Friday. It came out on the Wednesday. It was boys versus girls special featuring the Milers.
Yeah, that was a good episode actually.
Very
filmed
good.
A long time ago.
Very long time ago, almost a year before. But I think it's worth the wait. I think the episode, it's not one I filmed, but I think it came out really well. Everyone came across great. I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't seen it. Go watch it. But it was a very competitive episode as well. Yeah. Really competitive. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Grip Wars yet, go check the first episode out that's out now. And there'll be an episode out every week for the next 8 weeks.
Oh yeah, perfect for the Christmas period.
Okay, so yeah, you briefly wanted to have a quick conversation about an event for next year. You made a decision on the Grip League, I believe.
Yeah, so I've been trying to plan out all next year's events. Obviously, a lot of international people over the last couple of years have sort of messaged asking that they want to get involved in the UK Grip League or host a qualifier at their venue. Last year, I kind of did think it was potentially a good idea, but sort of as this year's gone on and we've kind of seen who came to the final this year, it's kind of made me want to just keep it to UK people. The reason why we created it was to make grip competitions more accessible for people that, might live in locations that are 3 or 4 hours away from the grip shed, that they don't want to come and lift on 4 things that they've never used before, but they want to get involved in grip. So we have gyms across the UK hosting a qualifier, and that's a great way to discover people in those gyms and in the local areas that can get involved in the grip events and then potentially qualify for the final. Like Jack Wadman is probably the best example this year. He finished 2nd overall, and we've never heard of him before. What do you reckon?
Well, yeah, I think you're right. I think the whole point of it was to find new people to come into the scene, the UK scene, and
Yeah,
it would worry me for you guys that you'd get a lot of international people qualifying because we know the European scene is really strong, and you've got a lot of the Scandinavian countries and stuff that have such elite athletes in.
yeah,
It would just concern me that if a lot of them qualified and then for some reason, just life reasons, just couldn't make it to the final, it just kind of then where does it end? Like you'd
yeah,
have people going into the final that finish 15th in their weight category and stuff.
yeah,
So I think a long-term goal would be to open it up and have some sort of European Championships or World Championships even one day.
yeah,
But for now, I think it works how it is, doesn't it? I mean, it's our biggest
definitely.
comp of the year for the
Yeah,
athletes in the UK. It's the one we all want to try and qualify for and perform well at. That's the
yeah,
biggest thing as well. When you get there, you want to perform well. And yeah, I think put it this way, it's as one of the athletes, it's my target every year. It's
yeah,
the thing it's the first thing I look at the calendar for. When is it? When do I need to be ready for it? What the events are?
yeah.
Oh, which reminds me, events
It'll be on the next episode.
exclusive.
Yeah.
The next episode of the Grip Guys. Right, I got the date wrong for I got the date wrong for the Premier Grip War, so let me just check. The Grip League events for the qualifiers will be the 12th of December. Oh, Tom, just in time for Christmas. Think of the stocking fillers.
Yeah, heavy stocking fillers.
Heavy stocking fillers. Well,
Very heavy.
some of them might be heavy. We don't know
Yeah,
yet. We'll have
yeah,
to see.
choose, yeah, could be some light
So yeah,
ones.
that's not incentive for you guys to tune in. Nothing will be because you get to find out what it's going to be in the Grip League qualifiers next year.
Yeah, be a good. I'm hoping this year we can actually expand it a bit more and get it out there a bit. I think we were at a similar sort of level to the year before. I think we had like maybe 15 extra people enter this year. Obviously, the final was way better, but
Mhm.
it's just a progression, isn't it? Let's get more people
Well, I'm
involved and
telling you right
all
now,
that.
from seeing who's on the scene now, the qualifying is going to be harder than it's ever been,
Yeah, oh yeah,
especially in certain classes. Leo's a great example. He'd probably end up going in the 83s because there isn't enough under 73s, are there really?
no,
So the likes of him, Joe, and Christy Stefano go in the 83s.
yeah.
If he does it this year, he just won Sam Horn's competition, and that was a
Overall,
weight. I know he won the overall, and he weighs 73 kilos.
it's mad that.
Just another such a good talent, and I don't think
Yeah,
he realized how good he's going to be in either if he sticks at it. Good. Are you going to make an appearance next year, Tom?
I
Are
suppose I
you too
could.
busy coordinating?
I don't know actually. It was pretty well organised this year. Like I just did a lot of pottering at the final.
You're in it, Jack's in it, and Tiny's in it. The open weight would be very interesting this year. So
Yeah,
event dependent, I would have thought, but yeah.
lots of wide pinch.
Yeah. 100 the mammoth pinch, the 80 pinch, 80
Yeah,
Saxon. Oh, wow, this
yeah.
this final. Where's this final come from? Yeah.
In fact, one thing. Let me just get this.
Come on, let's have a look.
It's disappointing 'cause it doesn't
There
even
we
look
are.
big.
Yeah, it does look quite big, to be fair. Is that, what is it, 100?
It's 89 mil.
89? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a big boy. It looks massive, but it doesn't feel massive.
It does, like, it won't feel massive to you, it'll feel massive to me. Size of me
That's it.
bloody head, mate.
So yeah,
Seriously.
as always, let us know what you'd like us to talk about next time. If there's any controversial topics, we're keen to hear them. We look forward to the next episode, which will have the grand reveal of the Grip League events for the qualifiers. Anything else, Chris? That's everything, isn't it?
I think we're good. Like I said, tag us in your lifts. Get down in the comments.
That's it.
Put what you want to see, what you thought of the episode. Be nice to each other down there. This has been good fun, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
See you soon.